Okay, 大家好. Everybody say you're beautiful. You're, not to me, even though it helps my ego, but to each other. You're beautiful. All right. Okay, 靜啲唔該. Today I'm so happy. It's a dream come true. Me and Gordon Chin have been working together for many years, and our dream one day was that maybe we could one day fix up the public housing units, which I know our mayor really appreciates. And I am so thankful for all of you listed in the program that Joanne is going to acknowledge later. Because I don't know if you get it. I grew up in Chinatown too, and half of Chinatown are people living in single rooms, sanfang, families. And the best housing in the world, and my dad was a veteran too, but we couldn't get in. But that's an old story. And in the public housing, we had 1, 2, 3, and even 4 bedrooms. And we had beautiful housing like 990. And I want to thank especially the residents who supported us from day one. Some of the seniors are no longer with us, but they supported us. I want to thank, of course, the Housing Authority, Mayor's Office. Olson's still around, he's retired now, man, but you're part of the dream with Mayor Lee back then. And anyway, I'm not going to talk too much in the beginning except this. Please appreciate these moments when the community, residents, Mayor's Office, Housing Authority, and HUD can get along for once to get something done. So put your hands together, celebrate this moment. Appreciate it. Michael Jackson said, this is it, this is it, this is the moment. But we need the mayor. Before the mayor, there's a video that someone did of coming home. Emma, how do you dim the lights quick? All right, a little commercial break. Here we go. Okay, coming home, look at this. Public housing residents coming home happy, okay? Happy. So while they're setting up, we're going to do the ribbon cutting a little earlier. Some people have to go, and we're going to acknowledge everyone, and the attendant's going to speak after the ribbon cutting. Okay, got it? So stick around. Okay.
So just a little bit of background while we're waiting for the video. So Emma Marie Chang is our filmmaker. Our resident services and planning staff worked with Emma to document the stories of 8 residents. As they relocated to 11 different locations around the city. So roll the tape.
Here we go. I hope the sound too.
The political climate, public housing has been underfunded for many years and has the risk of being lost.
In San Francisco, undergoing a transition into what we call RAD, the Rental Assistance Demonstration Program, which is a new finance strategy to make the existing public housing affordable and sustainable and much more community-driven. The entire building of 100 seniors and people with disabilities were relocated off-site to units throughout San Francisco for an entire year overseen by Chinatown Community Development Center.
对啦，因為即話搬，哇！整個又變，我搬咗幾次，我搬到我都煩。以前啊，老間打理啊，冇嗰個啲事啊，佢都冇辦法啊，我出去食飯㗎。I am a San Francisco native. You can't get me to move San Francisco. I love this city so much.
佢因即係全即係我由嗰間起嚟講就係
同埋相提兩次字，你叫佢哋搬去係好唔方便嘅。
問題呢就係買嘢唔方便，咁啊同時買嘢又要轉車啦。喺呢度，因為我哋中國人咧，多數會有時或者去飲下茶，去餐廳食嘅嘢啊咁樣，呢度冇啦。Home is not that interesting. I can't get back to it.
覺得好似翻到一個大家庭咁。
She will be speaking later. We call her Grandma Precious. First one back, right, Emma? Was she the first one back? And all the construction workers welcome her. My God, it doesn't get much better than that. Come on. Coming home. That's why we're here. And I'm sure your video will be a national model. And Trump might not look at it, but, you know, somebody... I mean, this is you gotta celebrate this moment, right? And now we're coming home so that Mayor Bree can bring it home right now. Let's welcome the Mayor of San Francisco, Lenny Bree.
I am so excited to be here today to witness the incredible remodel of 92 units with 100 seniors and disabled folks who live here. There's a new home. Coming home is an appropriate title for the video because sadly, I know how it feels to live in public housing and live in public housing where the conditions are absolutely horrible. Over 20 years of my life, my grandmother raised me in Plaza East public housing. And the roaches, the pipes that are busted, the bathrooms that are messed up, the mold, the violence, the frustration that I experience, you never forget that. And so when I had an opportunity to be on the Board of Supervisors and work with Mayor Lee, and I went and I spoke with him about my priorities. At the time, Olson Lee was the director of the Mayor's Office of Housing. I asked the mayor to do more because what we had discovered is that we had over $250 million of deferred maintenance with a $10 million annual budget. How are we going to change public housing for the better for the residents of San Francisco? And so I am so excited to be here today because we are doing something different with public housing. We are changing the face of public housing by changing the way it looks, the way it feels for the people who live here. We are making a difference. We are finally seeing the fruits of our labor in less time than it typically takes the bureaucracy to get it together. And so I'm so glad to be mayor at a time where we have these openings, to celebrate these properties, to support its residents, to make sure that you are living in safe and humane conditions. Nothing is more important to me as mayor, to make sure that the experiences I had growing up living in public housing with my grandmother are not the same experiences of San Franciscans today. So we are in a better place. And we are in a better place because so many people stepped up to address this particular issue. I worked with Olson Lee when he was with the Mayor's Office of Housing, as well as Ed Lee, and so many people who fought for RAD, while others tried to stop RAD. I didn't want the conditions of public housing to continue to persist, and I want to thank the San Francisco Housing Authority. Thank you, Joaquin Torres, who's the president of the Housing Authority, who helped to lead this particular effort. And I want to thank our community partner, because it is a partnership that gets us to a place like this. Thank you, Reverend Fong and Chinatown Community Development, for not only taking on the responsibility of helping to manage this property, but doing it with love, making sure that you work with the residents so that they understood that they were definitely going to be coming back, that you tried your very best to find locations for them that were convenient for them so that their routines were not knocked out of whack. And that makes all the difference. In Plaza East, those units were torn down, over 300 units, and only 200 rebuilt. We knew that so many people weren't coming back, and many of my friends who grew up there didn't. We are changing that. We are changing how we treat residents, how we displace residents in a way, well, not displace, excuse me, that's not the best word. How we make sure that when we're remodeling these properties, that we do it in a way that allows the residents to live comfortably until the work is done, so that they know they're coming home, so that they know that this is being done on their behalf and not someone else's. That is the difference of what this program has done to thousands of properties all over the city. We will continue down this path as long as we have great partners like Chinatown Community Development, other partners like Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, who helped to finance this project. Again, I want to thank the Housing Authority, the Mayor's Office of Housing, the community, the residents, and so many who have come together to make what really, honestly, is my personal dream of rehabilitating all public housing in San Francisco into a reality. 92 units at 990 Pacific Avenue is just the tip of the iceberg. We still have a lot more units to go, and in San Francisco, we're going to get the job done for the residents of public housing. Thank you all so much for being here today.
All right, she brought it home, but I want some noise, especially because sometimes they get not acknowledged. The staff of Chinatown CDC and board members, wave your hands, jump up and down. I can't name you all, we got no time, all right? But you know who you are, okay. Next, I don't know, man, I love this guy. He causes trouble a lot, but that's normal. Sometimes I too, but he's homegrown, part of Chinatown North Beach collaboratives in so many different ways. Our own supervisor, the one and only, Pui Sigam Uso Lo. You all know what that means, right? The bearded guy? Yeah. Supervisor Aaron Peskin, come on. You can be nice today though, right? This is a happy occasion.
Thank you, Reverend Fong. I think today is actually proof positive that rad is actually pretty dang rad. Let me start with just some words of profound thanks. Starting with Mayor Ed Lee, who had this vision and really went to the right person in the right department, and that is our recently retired head of the Mayor's Office of Housing, Olson Lee, who had the vision with HUD that we could take that project-based Section 8 and plow it into projects like this. Let me say that you got exactly the right community partner in CCDC, and let me name some of the names, one in particular, and that's Kathy Lamb, who stewarded this with such love. We know the mistakes that governments are capable of making. Mayor Breed spoke to that legacy of distrust, of broken promises. That did not happen here. All of those 103 residents who unfortunately temporarily had to leave this seismically unsound building. This building could have collapsed in a seismic event. All of them taken care of with love each and every day, their needs taken care of. Thank you to Kathy and her team for that. Thank you to the Mayor's Office of Housing and everybody who brought them back on schedule. And let me thank the Tenants Association. This was done as a collaborative project. It was not top-down government telling people how it was going to be. It was done in close collaboration, democratically, in the best sense of the word, with the Tenants Association. The person who presided over the Tenants Association, Dorothy Ramsey, who I knew and loved, did not live to see this day, but I want to invoke her memory. along with Ed Lees. And I want to thank the vice president of the association, Susanna. You have here monolingual Cantonese speakers, Russian speakers, all living together collaboratively and harmoniously. So I want to thank the Tenants Association. I also want to thank and acknowledge the creative financing that went into this deal. In addition to Merrill Lynch, the Bank of America has made an unprecedented investment not only in this $65 million project, but in our rental assistance demonstration program citywide. This is over $2 billion in capital, and this project is the tip of the iceberg. There is, just down the street in Chinatown, hundreds of more units that are being subject to the same loving treatment and rehabilitation in the Pings, where the Board of Supervisors with Jane Kim and the entire complement, back when London Breed was president, has bestowed every bit of capital that we can get our hands on to make that dream come true. And as I said, Reverend Fong, this has been an enormous struggle, and I said early on, and I was truly worried, that this project could kill CCDC, and if it did not kill CCDC, it would make it stronger. You have emerged stronger. Congratulations. I would like to ask Susanna from the Tenants Association to come up and get a certificate of honor from the Board of Supervisors for your and the Tenants Association work, as well as Kathy Lamb. Get up here. I know you are humble. I know you hate the spotlight, but you have no choice in this matter, Ms. Lamb. Come on up here.
Kathy Lamb, your moment has come, Kathy.
And Ms. Cow, who is the treasurer of the Tenants Association, I want to acknowledge and thank as well.
It's priceless. Mayor, Jane too? All right. We'll all get it. Okay. We're all going to take a group picture in a minute. Don't worry, all the funders, don't worry, we got you covered. Jane, want to say a few words? Supervisor Jane Kim, how about a few words? And then everyone that's on the speaker list, we're all going to take a group picture and get ready for the ribbon cutting. And then we'll follow with all the thanks to all the people that contributed. Supervisor Jane Kim.
Thank you, Reverend Fong, my former boss. I always have the honor of being a sort of honorary representative of this district. Supervisor Peskin and I, well, I like to call it District 63. He will call it 36. But I, have long been proud to have been part of this community. And from my days as a community organizer at Chinatown CDC, I know that this has been a dream of this organization to help rebuild 990 Pacific and the Ping's projects here in Chinatown. We always celebrate the opening of new construction and new affordable housing, but we also know that if we don't take care of our affordable housing, that we lose this housing that so many of our families and seniors depend on. Supervisor Peskin recognized Kathy Lamb as a former staff member. I thought it was also important to remember the quote-unquote little people who actually really made this relocation possible. I want to recognize Kathy Lamb and Tony Lee. Tony's in the back working, of course. And the resident services team, Diana Pang and Bei Zhang, to continue assisting the tenants. And of course, you'll hear from her later, but Joanna Ladd from the housing development team. So this building was originally constructed in 1968. So this is the 50th anniversary of 990 Pacific. and how appropriate it is that we're welcoming our residents back. And with the 74 studios and 18 one-bedrooms, it serves our most vulnerable communities. And just to exemplify this, one of its most recent tenants that just moved into this building is 104 years old. Now, you shouldn't have to wait to turn 100 to win affordable housing. But it is still a tremendous story of what this project means. And I, again, want to honor our late Mayor Ed Lee, who has always wanted to make the rehabilitation of public housing his legacy, what he was known for as mayor of our great city. And I want to thank him for his leadership, working with the Mayor's Office of Housing and Olson Lee, and then President, now Mayor London Breed. This work is so important, and congratulations to everyone who's involved.
Who do you want to put for the picture? We're going to do the ribbon cutting first, and then the great speeches. Don't leave, but the mayors and others have to leave real soon. So we.
Could we have Dar and Joya in addition to the resident, Xiao Ying? And Xiao Ying will be speaking after the ribbon cutting, so again, please remain in your seats.
Everybody look up. Let's get a few photos first. Ready? Yep.
David?
I think you get the long piece.
Who wants the bow?
That must be good.
Put it on something. Tell him to sit down. Okay, now we sit.
Okay, please have a seat, and we'll continue the program as the mayor. Thank you for being here. Mayor Breed also had tea and dumplings with the residents here earlier. Did you know that? That's pretty cool. Very cool. Must be a Jeff Buckley idea or something. Okay. The Deputy Executive Director, Darius Kahan, and Director of Programs from the San Francisco Housing Authority, Joaquin's favorite place. Oh, no, he moved. Okay. Anyway, let's give it up for the Deputy Executive Director. And what did you all have to do, and how was our experience with you? Here we go.
Thank you, Reverend Fong. Good morning, everybody. My name is Darius Kahan. I'm the Deputy Director of the Housing Authority. And I just wanted to pause for a moment. I believe an opportunity like this is a moment just to pause and to reflect on our work and to really slow down just for a moment. We're all so busy, but we're often just charging forward to the next project, and just to hit pause and think about and be this work and how grateful we are for this work. I was watching that video, it's such an excellent video, and just getting emotional watching that and seeing people come into their homes and just remembering this is about people's homes. At the end of the day, that's what this is. You've heard about the Rental Assistance Demonstration Program. I think it's a shining example of strong collaboration. It's repositioning our efforts on behalf of the city. It's not each department looking out for themselves. It's not one organization or another. It's everyone coming together. You heard people mention Olson Lee a number of times. Olson brought everyone into the room and said, we can do this. We've complained about public housing for many years in the city. Here was an opportunity to actually jump in. We're thankful for CCDC to step up. This building is under strong stewardship, ownership, and management of CCDC, so we know it will be run properly going forward, and that's a great thing, and I'm very grateful for that. The San Francisco RAD program is the largest RAD conversion, I think still to date, in the nation. It's almost 3,500 units. It's 29 properties. Again, we jumped in early and we jumped in big. In many ways, it was crazy how big we jumped in, but that was the opportunity and we just seized on it. And the outcome of that leadership is manifested right here with 92 new homes. I mean, this is what came out of all of that crazy times, you know. So I just want to say at the Housing Authority, I've been there for about 3 years now. I came in to help with the conversion work. I got to work with many of my colleagues that I was with for many, many years. And I think we're experiencing the strongest partnership we have ever experienced in the city. And I want to say that specifically with the Mayor's Office of Housing and Community Development. I want to call out Lydia Ely is here right now, and Lydia has just been I don't want to date us, but you know, I've worked with Lydia since she was at the Coalition on Homelessness and created the street sheet. And then I worked with her at the Community Housing Partnership. And then when I came over to the Housing Authority, she rolled up her sleeves. We all worked together. So the partnership we have, the technical assistance, the collaboration, thank you for everything you've done to support us through this process. She thought I was crazy to take this job, but it's been a wonderful experience. I just want to say that the Housing Authority is in this work for the long haul. We own the land you are standing on right now, so it'll stay permanently affordable. Our staff will continue to do the eligibility work, we'll inspect the units, and we'll make sure that residents receive their subsidies seamlessly. So we constantly, and then we'll make referrals to these units quickly so that units aren't sitting vacant when there's such a desperate need for affordable housing in this city. In closing, I just want to thank, on behalf of Joaquin Torres, the president of our commission, who's been mentioned, he's an old friend of mine, and we work very closely together. I'm so grateful to have him as our president. Barbara Smith, who was not able to make it today, she's out of town. I want to thank Alicia Siska, who's the head of our modernization and development team, Will Daniels, who oversees a new team we created, our RAD team, and our waitlist team under Kyla Reynolds, and finally Sarah Ramler, who actually is taking our project-based voucher, our housing choice voucher program to high performer status. The last thing I want to say is I want to thank the residents. How many of you live in this building? Please raise your hand. Please raise your hand. Thank you. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for believing in us that we weren't going to tell you something we maybe had said many, many times and we weren't going to deliver on it. Thank you for dealing with this construction. This is messy work, literally messy work. And the relocation's really challenging. And the deadlines are time sensitive. And I just hope you were great, you were happy and are pleased with this. And thank you so much for putting up with us. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Okay. I'm going to get in trouble if I don't at least raise your hand if you're on the board of CCDC. Raise it. Phil Chin, you're the president. Come on, I want that fist up there. Come on. All right. Let me tell you something. Janet, everybody knows, it was not an easy decision. I go, trust me. Norman, we have faith, but do you know what we're getting into? You know, and I'm so thankful for the board and the staff. This is a labor of love. Look at her. Well, how does that relate? Let me see. Okay, anyway. She's going to acknowledge BBI and everybody in a few minutes. But, you know, funders are very important, too. Gloria McCarthy from Bank of America. They invested a lot of money in RAD. How much money did you invest in RAD? No, anyway. Okay. Hi, thank you.
Hello, I'm Joya McCarthy. I am the Northwest Division Executive and Market President here in San Francisco, and it's an honor to be here today. Bank of America was the community partner, and we did provide the financing, but it really is a joy to be able to do that. When I think about Bank of America, we were started in 1906. We helped finance the Golden Gate Bridge and the ferry building. So we believe in San Francisco. When you think about what Mayor Breed had said, those numbers are staggering. To be faced with a maintenance budget of $270 million and only receiving in $10 million, that's an insurmountable task. And again, together to come with community partners, Bank of America was very happy to be a part of that. And so thank you to San Francisco Housing and to Supervisor Peskin. I think it takes a community to make this project happen. I've been able to tour some of the properties, and this property in particular was 100% relocation and then coming back, which is an even more insurmountable task. But you made it happen, and together, everybody came together to do this. SFRAD really is an example for the rest of the nation to follow, and just to put it in perspective, Bank of America has spent $4.5 billion nationally, $2.2 billion right here in San Francisco. So that is a commitment to this city. And we're so happy to be a part of it and happy to do it. I think community partners like Norman, I just can't say enough. Chinatown CDC helps us put the personal touch on what we like to do. We can provide financing all day long, but if we don't have that personal touch and make sure that everything's done the way we would do it to create a home for people and not just an apartment, that really is the difference. And at Bank of America, we always like to say life's better when we're connected. And this is a true example of being connected, having all partners come together for one cause and making it work out. So thank you again to everyone who participated to help Bank of America bring this to life. We're so happy to see this, and thank you, Norman, for making sure your residents were always top of mind, that there not only is beautiful space for you to live in, there's lots of beautiful things happening seismically in the building that you can't see, but is always mindful that there's a community space, that people can come together and share a meal, stories, and have the life that they want to have. So thank you again, Norman, and to Chinatown CDC, everybody, for making sure your residents were top of mind. And I get the distinct honor, I think, to introduce Grandma Precious. Everyone in this building is precious, but now I get to turn it over to one of our residents so you can hear about her coming home. Thank you.
Grandma Precious. Bo Biu Paw Paw, Grandma Precious.
各位首長，我係趙少英，今年88歲。我係990嘅長者嘅一部分。我在1986年由廣州移民嚟到美國。嚟到美國後呢，我一向都係在華埠做屋字，但係在2011年呢，屋子迫遷，我又到好驚，唔知點辦。而就做屋又貴，咁我就係找華協幫忙。在2012年呢，我就好彩瞓到990，15年呢就華協接管，咁又要重新裝修啦。咁要搬去1年，我又擔心離開航銀埠咁遠，唔知點辦。我咁就又要搬屋，好麻煩。咁後來呢，華協就幫我哋搬翻嚟呢，都解決到一切嘅困難啦。我又放心，相信華協。再搬遷嘅期間呢，我自己就好學識自己坐車，再翻嚟990呢，後呢就環境就唔同啦。以前990呢，設備又差，環境衛生又唔好，破舊舊。但係呢，到嗰個華協接管後呢，就管理得好好。外邊又有花園，花園裏邊呢又有台同埋凳，各方面都好方便。2樓呢就設備又齊全，又有運動室、活動室、物業部、服務部，幫助我哋解決好多問題，又有各種文娛活動，我哋咧。大家可以一起教學，大家好開心。但係我哋萬分感謝政府同華協，俾我哋有享樂嘅養老嘅。我幸運呢得到可負擔房屋資，但係呢現在有好多人都需要 負擔房屋，我哋呢應該為三藩市居民爭取更多個負擔房屋。多謝政府和華協關心，多謝多謝，祝大家愉快健康。
Translation, Bay.
Okay. So my name is Xiaoying Zhao Ling, and I'm 88 years old, one of the oldest residents of 980 Pacific. I immigrated to United States from Guangzhou, China in 1986, and San Francisco Chinatown has been my home ever since. In 2011, I was evicted by my landlord, and I could not afford other apartments in the area. During my eviction, I received help from Chinatown Community Development Center. In 2012, I was very lucky to move into 990 Pacific. In 2015, CCDC announced that they would take over the building's management from San Francisco Housing Authority and plan to relocate all 100 residents from 990 Pacific to temporary housing for 1 year while the building was renovated. I was very scared and fearful about living away from Chinatown and worried I would not be able to return to my home. But thanks to CCDC, they helped us with everything, including finding housings, moving into our temporary units, and the move back home. I felt confident I could trust Chinatown Community Development Center. During relocation, I learned how to be more independent by taking the bus to and from Chinatown. Before, 980 Pacific was old and under poor management, but after Chinatown Community Development Center took over, living here has become a delight. We have a flourishing garden, new furniture, exercise room, and a beautiful community room where we have resident service activities that help us get to know each other and prevent isolation. On the second floor, we have a lovely resident services and property management staff to help us with our needs. Other residents and I are very happy and grateful to the San Francisco government agencies, funders, and CCDC for providing us an affordable, safe, clean, and supportive community to age in place. I am very lucky that I have housing, but there are more people like me, and we all deserve affordable housing. We need to keep fighting for measures and supporting causes that will continue San Francisco's commitment to its citizens. Wishing everyone health and happiness. Thank you so much.
Finally, now there's a long list of people to acknowledge. And I can't remember anything anymore. I'm getting old. I passed senior citizen a couple years ago already. So Joanna Ladd, who's worked with loving care, is going to acknowledge everybody now. So if you get missed or in any way, blame her, not me. Thank you. Good. Joanna, give it up for Joanna. Come on.
Hi, I'm Joanna. I've been the project manager of 990 Pacific since we began the project in 2014. And we always say these projects take a village, but it took 67 different organizations to successfully preserve 990 Pacific as affordable housing. Our complete list of partners is in your program, but we wanted to publicly acknowledge those who have worked day in and day out on this project for years. Our general contractor, BBI Construction, and our architect, Gelfand Partners Architects, in association with MEI Architects. $990 Pacific was the most challenging Phase 1 RAD project from a construction and relocation standpoint, and this team brought the project in on budget and moved all the residents back in their units on schedule. That was only possible because of the selflessness of our architect and the sheer force of will of our contractor. We have a host of financing partners that helped us build the budget necessary to not just complete the seismic retrofit and fix the plumbing, but provide the residents with beautifully renovated apartments. Of course, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, which created the RAD program, our state financing partners, without whom no project moves forward, affordable housing project moves forward in San Francisco. Those are the California Debt Limit Allocation Committee and the California Tax Credit Allocation Committee. Our permanent lender, Freddie Mac, and our construction lender and investor, Bank of America. Bank of America provided this project with additional investment so that we could hold activities for residents next door at True Sunshine Church during construction. Enterprise Community Partners, NeighborWorks America, and the Local Initiative Support Corporation all provided Chinatown CDC with funding and training so that our staff could meet the challenge of incorporating close to 600 units of public housing into our portfolio in just 2 years. The San Francisco Department of Aging and Adult Services is funding our program to bring on-site supportive services to the residents for the first time in this building's 49-year history. And the San Francisco Housing Authority and the Mayor's Office of Housing. As everyone has alluded to, this was a monumental challenge from a policy standpoint, and our city staff rightfully saw it as the last best chance to save public housing. So they really took it upon themselves, and they gave and they continue to give their days, nights, and weekends to make this program work. We have a huge list of experts from all different disciplines who contributed to the project, but we wanted to particularly call out the work of the California Housing Partnership Corporation, which was the architect of the incredibly complicated financing program that allowed all 29 of the city's public housing RAD properties to be rehabilitated on pretty much the same timeline. Working on this project often reminded me of my favorite children's book, The Phantom Toll Booth, in which a little boy named Milo goes off on a quest, and all along his way, people say to him, "I have something to tell you, but I can only tell you when you get back." So he continues on his way, and he's successful in his quest, and then he comes back, and only then do they finally tell him it was impossible. I really believe that the RAD program in general, and 990 Pacific in particular, were impossible. We're talking about moving, at that time, 93 residents to 11 different locations all over the city, completing a huge earthquake retrofit, fixing 50 years of neglect in the apartments, and moving everyone back home within just 12 months. That challenge only became possible because of the work of all of the people I've mentioned at this point, and especially because it was in the hands of the remarkable staff of Chinatown CDC. And our housing development, construction management, property management, resident services, community organizing, relocation, asset management, accounting, and executive staff were not content to just pull it off. They attended to each resident's individual needs like they were their own grandma and grandpa precious. And they made sure that this building lived up to our dream of what public housing could be. That is the level of commitment that you get when you transfer public housing to the very advocates who have been fighting for better living conditions in public housing for over 40 years. And finally, this challenge only became possible because of the incredible residents of 990 Pacific Avenue. These residents made the most personal of sacrifices. They packed up and moved, and they endured construction in their homes so that this building could be preserved for them and for future San Franciscans. Thank you for believing us. Thank you for believing in us back there. Thank you for believing in us. Okay, here, let me just finish it, and then you can translate this part. It is because of your courage and your patience that this building will be here for decades to come. And for that, you deserve the greatest applause of all. And Bea is going to translate so our residents can understand that part.
咁 Joanna 小姐咧就話好多謝各位啦，多謝投資方咧，多謝我哋合作方，同埋多謝政府啦，多謝我哋990居民嘅合作，多謝。
Yeah, almost done. So before I turn it back to Norman, just a quick reminder, we will be leading tours of the units. You can sign up in the lobby, and the tours will be leading from in front of the elevators, which is out to the left here. We'll also be serving refreshments. Those are outside through these 2 double doors. Take it away, Norman.
Okay. You heard it. There's going to be tours. I need you to just shout out these words after me. I tried to not cry today because I know how much a lot of staff have suffered, and this really is a national dream come true. Housing preservation is not as glamorous, maybe, right, Olson? I don't know, but it took a lot of love and hard work from everybody. So I just want to be really thankful. So let's bless this place with a few words. Repeat after me. Joy. Peace, love, Dignity. Ah, that's good enough. All right, thanks. Thanks all the staff getting the food together and everything too. And you got to check out the tenants. We'll welcome you. Thank you so much.